Okay, I wanted to do a training here for MAP, and this is actually for February 25th. I'm recording it on the 26th, but it's actually for yesterday because I thought there was a lot of really good stuff that we want to dive into here, and I'm going to take a bit of time, break down MAP and the posts in MAP, and let's see how we actually did. And what I would say is that this is a pretty typical day in MAP. You know, nothing really out of the ordinary here. So, okay, so what I just will point out, the way my charts are set up is I have my blue line, that's the CP, and then I have my white lines, those are KPs. There's a chance that you could be watching this and you're not a member of MAP and you don't have prediction points. Those are prediction points. It's just two different types of prediction points. We have CP, KP. Critical price, key price. Okay, that's the gist with that. And I'm just going to look here at a simple 5-minute chart. And what we have is this is about 6:20 coming in here. So if you look, basically, I gave a little bit of commentary here about kind of the wild ride that it's been. So on the way up yesterday, I warned about a pullback from 29 to 40 area, and going up to that 34 area, and that was high enough. So pretty likely we test 98, and then if that doesn't hold, there's some support down around 91.50. So somewhere here, warned about some pullback from 39, 29 to 40 area, and then the high in the, where are we? Here we go. The overnight high in the Globex was right there, and you can see that on the, it's 34.50. So, and we had been talking about, let's just go back. Right here. So 20 up to 40. 29 up to 40. That's on 224, you can see that. So, said we could get some healthy pullback. 89.50, that's 38, 89.50, or even more. Okay, so that's what kind of the setup for that. And then coming into the morning here, said likely we test, let's make this bigger, likely we test 98. So what do we have right here? We have 98.75, okay. And then support around 91.50. And so I'm just going to draw in the lines I'm giving outside of prediction points. We'll just draw those in with green or red, but that one will be green. And we said we'd been low enough to put the sellers in charge for the time being. It could still make sense to try a buy from that 98, but small risk, and it's probably just a bounce. We'd have to see how it goes after the open. And then there's a lot of space between 98 to 22. That's a long ways down. So we have this CP up here at 22, and then we have this at 98. So just not that straightforward, especially with the big gap right here. I said I can give you a few levels. There's 11, 15, 16, 75, and then 39, 20, 21. So let's just draw these in. So here's 20, and then 21. And then 22.50. I don't make the rules. I just am relaying what I have to you. And then 15. And then 16.75. And then 11. Let's go mark that off. So the green ones are ones that I'm just marking off in here. And then said below 91, there was some more room to go. And then as things got underway at 6:36, said what happens at the CP, plus or minus a couple points, will be important here for next. Okay, so let's just look through this. So basically coming in here before the open, let's break all of that down. So what do we want to be doing? Well, right here, this is pretty simple. Sellers are in charge. Could make sense to try a buy from 98, but small risk. And it's probably just a bounce. Okay? So, but other than that, we've got 98, we've got 91.50, and we'll just take this, little by little as we go here. So let's go over here. And here we go. So here's your 5-minute chart. We had 22.50 and we had 21. They came up through 21 by 3 ticks right there. And then that sold off. And let's just get caught up on the time. So what do we want to be doing? We want to be shorting up here. Here, here, here. Somewhere in here we want to be getting short. I mean, sellers are in charge. We're going to 98. So 21 down to 98. There's a lot of room here. 20 plus points in profit. Okay, so taking out 24 to 25 would get us back to 29 or 32. It's just not that straightforward right here. That was at 645. So that's over here. We just didn't get that. This 20 to 25 area is still decent for selling. Another push probably gets to 23 plus. So if there's another push, it's probably going to 23 plus. I'm telling you that so you can resell it higher. And then above 32, things really open up for higher. The tricky thing is that any pullback, even into the 38.70s or 60s, is still just a pullback in the semi-bigger picture. But there's plenty of room for a potential short for that pullback, and we are so high up in this range with no decent pullback from the last rally that it makes sense to at least try it unless or until it breaks out. So what does a breakout means? A breakout would have to break up above price, and a breakdown would break down below it. Okay, so breakdown would be opening up down below it. So, okay, here we go. So we want to be sellers. If it comes up higher again, we want to continue to be sellers. So you can take some profit. Hasn't pulled back to this area. To me, this is the first logical place. If I'm shorting up here, I want to take some profit around 10 points. Oh, look at that. I didn't know you could do that. So, okay, so here we come. This is 11. Comes down to 11.5. There you go. And then it loses that area. Okay, so here's 98. That was our first. We had 98. If you actually remember, the KP is at 98.75, but I was saying 98. So that is low enough that that would be hard to hold here. So if you try to buy, and I don't want to break this down on a 1-minute chart, or I don't really want to do that, but basically in here you can get this trade off fairly close to break even. I mean, it comes right back up through it. In fact, I mean, you could have even made 5 points or something, and it came all the way back up to, what did we say right here? So right here. So let's just get caught up. All right, still nothing crazy here yet for a lot of follow through. That's a 716. That's right over here. And so we gave a few prices. You could try it short. Right here was 03 half. I'm just going to mark these off like this so the chart doesn't get too crowded. So there's 03 half. There's the first probe up to it. So if not that one, then where? The next one. That's 06. And there was a little reaction here, and then said right here, and then 10 to 12, even 15, and then we would have to see. So here's 10. So what happened? We said sellers are in charge, could make sense to try it long from this area. They broke this by 2.5 points, 2 3/4 points. And then that was enough to get all the way back from 98 back up here. So it bounces 12 points. Said shorting 10 to 12 area. It holds 10 1/4, so you're short here. And then what happens? And then we said 15 also could be a short. It could come back up here. So then what happens? We're short 10. 91.50 is the next decent target right down here. And then right here, remember this 83 CP from yesterday, they probably want to test that. That was at 735. So right here, saying they probably want to go down and test down at 83. So let's just mark off 83 like this. Okay, so there's 83. And then said 87 could hold things up a little bit. And it actually probed down here to 85. And then there's 83, so they did get that. So 85 held, they came back up here. So for me, the trades are really pretty simple. It's shorting up here, taking some profit here, taking all my profit here, and then potentially I would either take all my profit here or hold some for here. But given the way the day was going, I probably would have, I would say conservatively take all your profit right here, okay? And then the resell, so reselling here, that works a little bit, comes back up, take it off a break even. Selling here, I don't know how that went on a 1 minute chart, and again, I'm not going to go look, but you get the idea. If a little reaction, no follow through. Reselling it up here at 10, that's for lower down to here, 91.50. I'm taking some of my profit down here, and then I'm probably covering all of it down here. So there's my short from 10 down to 83. So I'm just going to kind of make some notes here. So what you would have had is you would have had shorting 21 and then covering at 98. So 21 to 98. And then you can take some profit here as well. And then selling 10 to 91 and 83. And we'll do a little math and we'll add that up after. And then 83, there was this kind of little reaction and then it spiked down here to 79. If you look right here, so we said back to 71 quarter or 70 half, even 65. It'd be great to get a bounce to sell a leg down to 71 quarter. That was at 747, so over here. So it'd be great if we got a bounce, we could sell a leg down to there. And said if you sold 91, because some traders may have sold 91 right here, that 83 was a place to take profit and then try reselling it higher. And said we couldn't ignore 77 to 78. And that probe right there got 77, 75 right there. So then that got us a bounce. So we said 71 was the target. So we're still selling. We're still selling. So what's the next trade? Well, really, here, ideally, that really was already tested. You could have done it here. This is pretty much a break-even trade. You had plenty of time to get out of break-even. Here's the short at 98. And then what's the target? Let's just go down here. We said 71. That was the highest. 71 quarter was actually the highest number we gave. So there's 71 quarter. So you're short here for 71 quarter. Okay. So that's 98 down to 71. All mapped out ahead of time. You know, no guessing here. Now let's look at what is next. Oh, and we said even 65. So if you're aggressive, you can hold some of this for 65. Here's 65. Whoop. Oh, I'm refreshing it. Wrong button. Okay, there's 65. So actually, you're really short from 98 to 65 because you can TSP at 71 right here, and you can cover it at 65. And then what happens? Bounces back up here to 71. That would be kind of hard to sell. It's a little bit close. It doesn't mean you couldn't do it. You just have to have a real short leash on it. And it kind of worked here and then came here. And then right here at 8 o'clock, where was that? So over here, when it was 8 o'clock, we said right here, 98, 50, 75 would be ideal for lower if that held. And then right here at 8:25, the high was 99.50, so 3 ticks. So that's holding, that's close enough. Unless it's a breakdown or breakout price, that's close enough, right? Okay, then let's see. I have 98.50 ideal for lower. Talked a little bit about some context here, the minimum wage bill getting worked on, that sort of thing. Okay, let's see what else. So
Order canceled.
then we said 6150 is important. And let's just draw that in here. Okay, so there's 6150. We obviously have the CP here. Maybe a probe to the CP, give or take a point. So that's right here. So give or take a point from this, that's 58 to 56. Okay, somewhere in here. Let's just see how that actually plays out. So there's 50, oh, it's 57. So there's a probe down to 5550. And then if that gets taken out, below the CP, it's down to 45. So we're not trying to buy here. We really our sell, we're short from here, and then I'm giving you these prices so you can know where do I want to TSP, where do I want to take profit, that kind of thing. That's what we want to be figuring out. Okay. So down to 45. And where are we? Right here. Right here. So it needs to take out 71 here for higher, down to 45 if it's below this. So that's 57 down to 45. Let's just mark off 45. And so there's 45. And then, where are we? So we talked about a bigger bounce, but I want to get to this part where is 9. Okay, so there's a little bit in here. So we said below 48, 45, 41.50. Those are all possible areas to take some profit. And then at 10 o'clock, that's over here, we said this was not impossible that we get all the way back down to here. So this is a little bit tough because there's not a lot of great stuff for reselling. I would say this is pretty aggressive right here. And I want to be real about it. The short is really here. This is a very aggressive kind of chasing resell. And then this, when we broke this, we sit down to 45. So there's room here. So this could be a short right here. And then you can hold that down to 45 at least. So you can TSP 45, that's 12 points. And then you're short here down to, we said even 20 was not impossible right here. And so the low there's 20 quarter and the CP's 20. And then said that could do it for a bit. I said I have no idea if anyone's holding a short from higher, meaning up here or up here, but this area could do it for a bit, meaning some bigger bouncing coming here. And I said that doesn't mean buy, it just means TSP or take profit. Now if you're way up on the day and you want to try something aggressive there like a buy, you know, I'm not there clicking the button for you, so that's really up to you. But I want to break down the context here. Let's see. So saying if 24 quarter or 23.50 holds, you know, this is like if it's really weak, then it would be for lower. Otherwise, could go all the way back to 50. So all the way from 20 back up here to 50. And if you look at, we gave these prices 45, 47, 48, 50. And, you know, you can try shorting in there. And no follow through right there. And then said it's all still fairly aggressive. The tricky thing is we can come back to 61 or 60, even 66 plus. That means all the way back up over here. And ultimately this actually does end up being the swing high. But I said above 45, if it starts getting stronger, we can probably go with a breakout for those higher targets. So that would mean back up into this area, we can buy for back up into here, but we said earlier, remember, it would need to take out 71 for higher, right? So it needs to take out 71 for higher, 914. But this is a lot of room, so what happened? It pulled back, it started to get stronger, there you go. So there's your move up into there. So when this started to get stronger and it couldn't really break down and lose these areas, this is an aggressive buy right here. So you could buy 38 for back up to 67, 66. I said 66 plus. And then you really want to be getting short up here. So this is 67. The swing high here is 69.25. So you really want to be getting short up there. And if you remember, let's go back and look right here. Okay, so now we said all right, so said we went back to 66 plus, but this 44.50 could hold for another bounce. That was at 11.53. Right here. The probe low right there is 43. So I said 44.50. The low right there is 43. Bounced back up 6 points from there. So that did not hold for another leg up. So you can cover that at break even. And then 39.75 or the CP. There's the CP right there. And then said if it only goes back, this was at 11.56 right here. Oh, so this was when it was coming down here. Said if it only comes to here and only goes back only to here or 59, then it'll still be moving lower, okay? So the tricky part is the range is huge, so you may have to try it a handful of times. That's just part of what the deal is with it, okay? So right here, we had 29, we had 25, and then we said 14.75 and 38.10 and then 38.04. And then if you look, it broke, we said right here, 25 is probably the last chance for the buyers. That was at 12.15. So here's 25, touches to the tick right there. And then pretty decent bounce, 9 points, and then it just comes through. It breaks to 22.25, comes back up to 31.5, and we had given 10. The low there was 10.25. So then you can sell. You're selling here, right? We have 25 breaks, then we can resell the bounce. So it bounces back here, and then we go to 10. So that's a 20-point trade from here to there. And then we just said that, you know, it could bounce back. We said 37.90 was not impossible. Could come back up. We could give it one more try from 44, you know, or anywhere below that. Probed this KP a little bit. Would have rather had that hold. It came to 42.25. And then overnight came down and hit 05 to the tick a couple of times. Came back up here. There's 44. Used 44 to the tick. And then if you sold that again, it came back down here. There's 05 again to the tick. So just a point off here. And things tend to change a little bit overnight through the Globex. Then a little bit of a probe down here, which was eventually 01.5, and then that was that. And we could go into today, but that kind of gives you the idea. So, I mean, 100 or 150 points on a day like this. So if you have questions, feel free to post them up in the Discord channel. We'll get this posted for you, and you'll you know, be able to review this. But if something in here that I've covered doesn't make sense, please make sure that you're asking your questions, or if you had some idea that you should have been doing something different than what we were doing here. But, you know, pretty much a meltdown kind of day, and we had the targets all the way down, and the bounces were a little bit trickier, but we still got most of what there was to get on the way down there. But a 100-point day probably, relatively, you know, realistically, just following along what the market's laying out here, what we're giving you in MAP. So there you have it, and we'll see you in MAP.